Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In the last few videos, we've been talking about purpose, what it is, the impact that it can have on your life, and then finally discovering your unique purpose. But today I want to talk to you about energizing your purpose. And I'm going to make a very bold statement, and that is that purpose is not enough. Simon Sinek, in his book Start With Why, talks about our need to start with why, but I disagree with that a bit because I believe that we need to start with purpose, but then our purpose needs to be backed up with why. Let me explain. Envision the attainment of your purpose as climbing this huge mountain. So when you're standing at the foot of the mountain and you're looking up 10, 12, 15,000 feet that you have to scale in order to achieve your purpose, what happens mentally to you and emotionally as you consider that? Because I think that we all realize that if we have a worthwhile purpose in life that we're pursuing, it's not easy. We're going to face challenges along the way, and that's just part of life. There's an old saying that says, anything that's worth having is worth working for. And I would say that any purpose that is worth attaining requires a lot of effort. But here's the question. When you're facing an insurmountable task, when you're tired, maybe you've been pursuing your purpose for months or even years, when you're ready to give up, what's going to keep you focused on the attainment of your goal, on the attainment of your purpose? When you face difficult challenges, purpose isn't enough. Now, purpose is the vehicle that you're trying to drive to get to wherever you want to go, but purpose isn't the fuel in the gas tank. And my challenge to you here is to figure out what your why is, why you really have to achieve that purpose. And here's why. When you get up in the morning after you've been fighting this battle for months or even years, and you are in the bathroom and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, why am I doing this? You better have an answer. So here's what we need to do. We need to ask ourselves, why climb this mountain? Why am I really doing this? What's the burning desire that I have that just won't let me stop? Take some time and really think about it and write down your answer to that question. And then ask yourself another question. Is my desire so strong that I'll either win, I'll scale the mountain, or I'll die somewhere on the slopes, but I will not give up? You see, you have to have an internal desire to see it done. I'll give you a quick example of that. When I first got married, my wife, and she still is today, but my wife at the time was the most brilliant educator I've ever known. And she would go in, she taught elementary school, and she would go into school every day and literally pour herself and her entire life into her students because she was committed to their education. She was passionate about that. That was her purpose. After we'd been married for about 5 years, she became pregnant with our first daughter. And she came to me and said, my heart's desire is to be a full-time mom. And I said, great, if that's what you want, we will work it so that you can be a full-time mom. And for the next 27 years, she poured herself into our 3 daughters. She taught them how to live successful lives. She taught them how to read. She taught them how to study. She taught them how to be loving, caring people. And that became her purpose. Her sole focus in life was to raise her family to be solid members of society. And thanks to her wonderful efforts, we now have a doctor, a nurse practitioner, and an attorney. Not only 3 beautiful women who were at the top of their fields, but people who truly love others and are invested in the success of other people. But what was her why behind that? Her why behind that was to continue building the legacy that her family had started. That's how she had been raised. Her parents had invested in her. Her grandparents had invested in her. And she wanted to carry on that legacy, though. So that became her why. That became her burning desire. So when you look at that and you look at the mountain that you're climbing, really you have to get this burning desire down deep inside. It's like a fire that burns within you that says, it must be done. And once you get to that point where you've got that burning desire, then you need to ask yourself, as part of the attainment of my purpose, which may be a lifelong pursuit, where do I want to be in the next 1, 3, or 5 years? And begin putting down some goals, things that you really want to achieve that will take you toward the attainment of your purpose. And then once you have done that, we have to define the gaps. And by that I mean you need to look at what things are separating you from the attainment of those 1, 3, and 5 year goals. Asking yourself questions about, what is it that I need to learn? What skills do I need to develop? What relationships do I need to cultivate? Do I need some help? Do I need some coaching expertise along the way to either help me get on the right track or to hold me accountable as I make this journey? What financial resources am I going to need in order to attain my goals? What emotional and physical stamina is going to be required for me to be able to get to where I want to be? And those gaps and understanding what they are become the foundation of some other goals that you're going to need to set for yourself. And I think it's really important too to understand that your gaps don't just come in the form of things that you need to learn, skill sets that you need to develop. Gaps, even more importantly, come in the form of who do you need to become in order to achieve those goals. One of my mentors, John Maxwell, has a law that he calls the law of the lid. Envision yourself living inside a glass jar, a clear glass jar with a lid on top of it. John says that the glass jar is the environment that you're living in, and the lid is the ceiling on what you can attain. And you will never be able to move that lid upward until you become someone different. So ask yourself those questions too, about who do I need to become in order to be able to achieve? I hope you found this video meaningful and that I hope that it benefits you greatly as you really consider and dig deep into some of these questions. God bless you. I'll see you next time.